Well, and so I think that, not all sales are created the same. And
Yep.
I think that depending on how you approach the community, there's a organic kind of like sales pipeline and the ability to tap in. And a lot of people talk about like the product growth flywheel. I don't know if you're familiar with the product growth.
I am not. No, it sounds. I like that word, flywheel.
Okay, so here again, we'll slide up this. Shall we slide this up? Not that I am like trying to do a slideshow here, but when we talk about like this, it's could be a little harder to read. It could be
a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh wow, look at that.
I know, isn't that the worst? He's making the screen bigger for a slide, but on Google Slides, what it does, it just like makes the header smaller. It makes the actual slide smaller. So it's the opposite of what you want.
So anyway, so let's see. So here we go. This is my really shitty graphic. Okay, so I am not a graphic designer, but this is the open source flywheel. But you could find it like if I go search for like product growth flywheel, I'll probably find a better example. Let's see, product growth flywheel.
Ooh, nice clicky keyboard.
Oh yes, love the clicky keyboard. So let's see. So images. Let's pull up. Oh, look at this. We've got the product growth flywheels. They're all over the place. How about the HubSpot one? There we go. So let's go ahead. We'll open this in a new tab. Open up the new image in a tab. There we go. Look at that. Way beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right.
Beautiful.
So the idea is, from a growth perspective, what you have to do is attract people, then engage them, and then delight them. And so as you do that, those strangers who are attracted will become prospects who will start to look at your stuff, and then they'll become customers, and then they'll eventually promote you, and then it will become this kind of like cycle that continually propagates itself.
Yeah, I love this. Can I say too, like, so I'm a content-focused developer advocate. I make videos and podcasts, whatever. But my biggest thing I'd say to like get people like closer to the center of the flywheel is to teach, not sell.
Yes. Helping will sell. Selling will not help.
Yes. And can I give an example? I love to, like, imagine you're at home on Facebook and you have a friend, a realtor friend, and every day they're just posting a new listing they're trying to sell on the market. Like, I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm going to unfollow that person so quickly. And for me, like, but imagine that same person, right? And instead of like just posting their listings every day and trying to sell those that way, they're making like videos or blog posts talking about like, here's how the market's changed. Here's how my predictions for the next 5 years for the local, I don't know, San Francisco market or whatever, wherever they're located. Or like, hey, I helped this person selling their house renovate their bathroom and it increased the value of their home by $15,000. And here's the step-by-step of how they did that. Like, that's like engaging content that's helping me. And it's something I might actually end up sharing, and I'm like less likely to just unfollow or check out from.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a balance there, though. Even that stuff, if you do too much of it, can cause issues.
I totally agree. Yeah, right. If they're doing so much content posting that they're not even talking about any of their listings at all, that is also an issue. But even for me too, sometimes I even use like it's like a balance of content, like keeping people engaged, but also like talking about it. I know James Franco's canceled now, but like back in the day, he was like the selfie king, and he said that he used to like use his selfies to engage content, like users to like follow his art and his poems and that sort of thing. But he was like balance his art that no one really cared about with his like selfies, which people like super engaged with. And I feel like it's a little bit with like businesses too, right? Like we need to like keep the end goal of like making money in mind, but we also like need to like kind of balance that with like more fun content or things that people actually are going to find value from.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, is the balance is key. Now, there's some arbitrary numbers that I have heard from quote-unquote experts that say, like, for every piece of, like, self-serving content, you should have 4 or 5 pieces of something else.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I've heard that 3-to-1, I've heard that 4-to-1, I've heard that 5-to-1. Pick your poison, but the idea is you should be sending more out that is not really specifically focused on your sales pitch than you are trying to sell.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And it depends on your audience and it depends on where you're at. And I think it involves testing to figure that out, which you should do, right? Like, I don't know. I like my content strategy involves a lot of just like kind of trying stuff out and seeing what works. And like, yeah, like if people are engaging with it, cool, keep like working in that direction. If not, don't,
Yeah.
And actually, and I was talking about this before we started recording too. I have this like soft idea I've been like trying to work out, but about like treating like open source content development like an open source project. Because Matt, like one of the biggest things I've seen people struggle with like working with this flywheel and getting people engaged too is like it's a lot of like companies building features or content for things that no one asked for, which I'm sure you've seen a million times. I've seen a million times. Some executives got an idea and they're like, build this. But like for us, we have the advantage of like having a close relationship with a community of users who are like using our product or like using similar products and like going to them and just asking like, hey, what do you guys need to see? Or like, what are you guys struggling with? And I usually like provide like some like options for them to kind of choose from. Like, I'm thinking about this, or this. Which one do you care about? And to work in that direction.